Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Taimanin Mari here today with another video. So for today's topic, I am going to be going into my opinions on Emily, amongst a few other things. Before doing so, I do just want to say Discord link will be in the description. Anyone interested in joining should go ahead and click that invite, come hang out, talk about the game, acquire game knowledge, joke around, do whatever. But the link will be there for anyone interested in joining. We have an overall good time there. We laugh, we talk about the game, and hang out. So, definitely hop on if you're interested in being a part of a chill community. So, enough of that. Getting right into it, I want to talk about the goddess here, Emily. So I want to give my verdict on what I think of her. This isn't to say I'm going to be tiering in the characters. As I said multiple times, I won't do a tier list because I feel like everyone has a place somewhere in this game. Now, as far as Emily, I'm not going to really go into my opinions of her in PvE. One, I don't have her yet. I hear she's fine in PvE, but there's a lot of characters that are fine in that mode, so if you have a character that's clearing everything already, getting Emily here isn't really gonna change how you look at PvE too much. She's not gonna do much more than clear the content too. But as far as PvP, she's really strong. I do just want to go ahead and say that, get that out now. I've been kind of spending the last couple days since I took time off for Thanksgiving to kind of poke and prod at her in arena to see how strong she really is. I have difficulty beating her even without a win streak, so for anyone interested in future proofing their account, I would suggest going for Emily as far as arena goes. It's not to say that she's OP. I think it's more just how she's designed. Her auto attack is just so cohesive with how arena works. The issue with arena, if you're looking at someone like Sakura who likes to spin or do Sakura's moves are really placement based, I guess is the wording, and she's really porty. So if the AI doesn't play her spin well and it gets iframed, she kind of is just a dud. The same thing is with anyone who uses a launcher. If their launcher gets iframed, they're just gonna float down and get hit. And it all really depends on what the AI does at the moment. Your Sakura could have a match where everything goes perfect and she lands every ability. But on the flip side, she could also have a match where everything goes horribly wrong. So Emily just simply bypasses the problem of AI by having a Phantasy Star Mag that will always attack for her, regardless of whether she's CC'd or not. And this is what makes her so good and worthwhile, because if you really pump into her damage, that auto attack isn't really super strong, but when you get that to the point where it's hitting for 400 or 500 a second constantly, it's basically a Gatling gun at that point. You're just gonna slowly melt people, and Emily is kind of tanky enough, and she's already at range that she'll be able to kind of just farple around the screen and do what she wants and get the job done. So I don't want to go along the lines of saying she's OP. I do hear in Japan that she has trouble dealing with Kurenai. So I guess Kurenai is either a natural counter to Emily or just the newer characters are getting designed so well that they're just competitive in arena in general. But I will say this, for where we are in global right now, Emily is very strong, and until we get some more characters out that counter her directly or can at least stand against her, she's going to have an easy time shredding. I know this is disappointing to people who may not like her. Fortunately, I like her. The whole nurse field medic thing, she's just adorable. I'm not going to go into how much I like Emily. I'm sure people know it. But besides her aesthetic and her whole personality, people who may not like the character at all, genuinely just don't like her, I can see how it's a bit of a frustration that she's out dominating the arena. So what I say to people in that boat who don't like her to the point that they won't get her, just simply don't bother with her. When you get her in arena, just don't fight her. If you see an Emily, just refresh to the next match. She's not even super prevalent in the top 100 yet. I'm sure over time she may be, but if you're playing outside of the top 100, you certainly don't have to deal with Emily. You probably won't even be dealing with a super powerful one. Um, I don't think that it's any one build with her that makes her strong. It's just the overall consistency. Like if you give her zero systems, which is her auto attack, and I guess the homing bullet or homing missile or whatever that skill is called, and then anything else for the third skill, she's pretty versatile. Like she'll take care of you. She only really needs her homing system to do good in arena, but that doesn't mean you have to fight her in arena. And unless we get to a point in the game where every single person you ever see in arena has a Emily as their character, I don't see a point in like being forced to get her unless you really want to like push and strive for top 100. And it's not even that I need her. Um, as you can see here, I'm still like number 74. I haven't had an issue really maintaining the top 100. It's a little bit rougher this week because Emily's here. I have more trouble picking out fights, but it's not to the point where I feel like I'm not going to rank, if that makes sense. I just feel like Emily will make it easier, which is why I don't say she's OP. You'll be fine without her. You'll just be better off with her if you're looking for arena as your main focus. And it's fine that she's good there, like, because I'm sure more characters will come later that balance out the mode in general. Because at first, it was people like, oh, we hate Yuki. Now it's just going to be Emily, so yeah, she's really good in arena. That's my opinion on her. As far as PvE, I think she is really good there. But when you're in a situation where you have like even like 1, 2, or 3 characters level that are doing the content for you, she's not really going to make a huge difference. The only thing I'm scared to use Asagi, Sakura, Renko, and She Who Shall Not Be Named in would be the Arena Prologue Hard, but since Yuki finished that for me, I'm not really too worried about that content, and I'm sure Emily would be fine everywhere else. She may even be fine in the Arena Prologue herself, because she has an AoE heal. I'll probably test her there one day and see. But she won't really shake up your PvE gameplay too much. But as far as PvP, in my opinion, if you're like a hardcore gacha player, you'll understand what I'm saying when I say this. She will definitely future-proof your account for solidifying a spot in arena, and then after getting her and getting her PvP weapon and prepping her for arena, it would just come down to you to grind the mode. And if you do, Emily will take care of you, I'm sure of it. So that's enough about our little Miss America. Next, I'm going to look at the gifts from the team. There was a nerf to the items they had canned out. So this started happening on Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving Day, we received some rare tickets. Usually when you get the rare gacha tickets that work in this gacha here, generally they were giving out 3 as the gifts from the team. So Thanksgiving Day, they actually gave us 2. And then on Black Friday, they gave us 2 more. So that has been dropped from 3 to 2, is what it's seeming like. And I'm sure everyone has noticed we've been getting battle point potions in increments of 5. That has now been dropped to 3. And I have gotten battle potions a couple times since it started happening, and it has been 3 each time. Same for the rare tickets. Now, this isn't to complain, like I still enjoy freebies. I think 3 battle potions is fine. I barely use my battle potions anyway, and I still maintain top 100. I only really use a couple when I want to push up a few spots, but if you're not going for like number 1 at the very, very top, you don't really need to use many battle potions to just get in the top 100, which I like. As far as the rare tickets, I'll live with getting 2. I do think 3 was a magic number because the drops from rare tickets generally are rare, and I mean, on occasion they do turn super rare, but it's very rare that they turn ultra rare. So I think 3 was fine. I don't know why they would bring that down to 2. I think 3 was a magic number. If any devs see this, or anyone with any sort of power, I do think they should look into bringing that back up. The reason I'm telling you this news overall, though, I'll stop rambling, is in regards to the AP potions. We haven't gotten AP potions since the rare tickets and the battle point potions have been nerfed. My worry is that we won't be getting 3 AP potions anymore. If they drop that number down to 2 or even 1, that could be really bothersome for free-to-play players trying to keep up with the event spam that's been going on. Like, I know me personally, what I do is I've been hoarding every potion they give us, since it's been 3 at a time, and then using them all on day 1 of each event to burn through the event, right? And then have just been saving the potions again for the 2 weeks for the next event. But if they stop giving us 3 and lower that number, it's going to be a lot harder for me to do that. And I may end up having to like either play the event with natural AP regen or be strong armed into using my precious gems to buy AP potions if I want to rush the event to get back to doing dailies quicker. Because that's the issue with the event, is that it's kind of holding a carrot on a stick supporter in your face, so it kind of pulls you away from doing your dailies. But when you need like things like your gold daily especially, or at higher level, like you're going to want to be farming shards for supporters, and you're going to need beads for your Magatama, like to upgrade them and to be able to affix them. The ore it's useful, but after you get like a lot of characters leveled up to the point like my characters are all promoted, so ore has a little bit less weight because I only am gonna need it for when I get Emily. But even then, it's still a useful daily. I'd rather be farming ore over spamming an event, which is why I save my potions for the event to get it out of the way early. So I do hope that they just realize that they are rushing us and at least don't nerf the AP potion drop so that people can continue to do what they need to do as far as events go. I'll keep an eye on that and give you more words about it as like I see what happens. So if AP potions do drop and they're still at 3, then whatever. I can deal with the battle potion nerf. I can deal with the rare ticket nerf. But if they do drop, I'll let you guys know that hey, we're getting 2 AP potions now, we're getting 1. I do hope they don't resort to giving us no AP potions. I do think they are needed. The next thing I want to talk about is little Yuki here. She is getting her supporter, her special little skin bundle, and her new ultra rare weapon on Monday. As far as the weapon, it's not bad. I don't remember. I like know what it does, but I don't remember the exact wording, so I'm not gonna say here and give you guys the wrong information. But the weapon seems okay. It doesn't seem as good as Greek Fire if you already have that for PvE, and I still think her Viridian weapon in PvP is a bit better than the weapon coming in the bundle. The skin is like insanely. What's the word? It's very becoming to look at. Anyone who likes skimpy clothing will not be disappointed with her skin. Unless you are on iOS, I'm sure the skin will see like a hefty amount of censorship on iOS. But on the other platforms, yeah, you're going to have a nice Yuki skin if you're willing to pay for the bundle and get it. As far as the supporter, I personally don't like it. Basically what the passive does is it says while an enemy is immobilized and at range, she would get an additional, I believe it was 8% crit and 18% crit damage at S level 1, and then the ability kind of works like Fuma Amane, where it gives her a counterattack when she gets hit, and every 4th counterattack would proc a stun on the enemy, thus proccing her passive. Now I look at this supporter more in regards to PvP than PvE. I'm sure it might be fine in PvE, but I am going to always stick with Green Yuki in player versus enemy because after her clearing Arena Prologue 5, I'm just really biased towards Green Yuki for any sort of content against, like, PvE. For PvP, though, I do look at her supporter in regards to that. As Yuki, you don't really want to be getting hit anyway, you want to be at a range, so having a supporter that requires you to get hit 4 times to proc the stun is a little bit meh, in my opinion. And the fact that it gives crit rate and crit damage is nice, but if you play enough Arena and if you've ever poked your head into the top 100 or maybe even top class, you're going to see a lot of people with Viridian PvP weapons which reduce your crit rate. So it's kind of going to eat away at the supporter's crit rate already. And even paired with Faust, your crit rate's going to be greatly reduced. So I already feel like the passive on the supporter is a little bit underwhelming compared to like what the Asagi supporter does. Like, yeah, her passive is a little on the like conditional side, not conditional, but it's kind of a dead roll till you can ult, right? But the fact that her supporter basically gives her a second on-demand Kojenka is what makes it amazing in PvP. The Sakura supporter, like, I personally haven't fought anyone with it. Not many people seem to have it, but people I've spoken to in my server that do have it are enjoying the hell out of it in PvP. It doesn't seem like they're having a bad time using it. One guy said he was able to generate a full special with her in PvP in 17 seconds, having her support her. So, yeah, Sakura seems fine. Yuki's may be fine as well. It's just, for me, like, instead of sitting around waiting for a fourth counterattack to get a stun off and kind of hoping Yuki gets hit, you could just simply use Major and blow them up, right? If you're going to run red. And then if you're going to run green, you wouldn't be looking at running at her supporter anyway. So I'm kind of struggling to see where it would fit in. Maybe on Emily, I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I also want to see if the wording changed for global, because as far as Suzune and Katajina did, the wording was slightly changed to make them way more desirable for global, as it says all debuffs instead of just like stun and groggy as it said for JP. So maybe Yuki's supporter will have different wording that'll change my mind on it, but for right now, unless you're like a huge Yuki fan, I wouldn't really go for her supporter. I would go for her bundle for the skin, because the skin will be limited and it's a really nice looking skin if you haven't seen it. I think it was announced on the Facebook over Thanksgiving, so I'll drop the link in the description for people who want to get like a look at the splash art. I might even like slap it in the thumbnail too, so you don't even have to go to Facebook, but for a bigger look at it, I'll drop it in the description. And that will be available Monday after maintenance for anyone interested. But like I say, I think if you're looking for anything for Arena to give you an edge, the Yuki supporter should come second to Emily. I think Emily is the top choice to go for if you're looking for something to really future-proof you in Arena, as she plays the game to her own terms. So she's just a really strong character that can control the flow of the battle in the arena. And then if you already have Emily and you're in a position to go for Yuki's stuff, yeah, definitely go for it. Like I might go for Yuki's skin, but since I'm like in the market to wife someone and Yuki's evil, I might go more into wifing Emily and just getting her skins as opposed to wasting resources pulling on Yuki's supporter. But we'll see. Either way, there will be gacha vids for whatever I decide to do. That's everything I wanted to really to discuss today. Well, excuse me, my throat's a bit dry. But that's all I wanted to discuss. So again, Discord link will be in the description for anyone interested. As stated, if you're looking to do well in Arena, get Emily. The Yuki supporter will be coming after Maintenance Monday, so definitely look forward to that. The last thing I want to bring up before ending the video is the Steam Awards are now up. I already went ahead and nominated Action Taimanin for Game of the Year because I do sincerely feel that way. It is my favorite game. It is my main game. I have almost 400 hours now, so I'm thoroughly happy here. But there are lots of other categories if you don't want to give the game Game of the Year per se. There are like 10 categories you can nominate it for, but you can only pick one. So, you know, anyone who plays on the Steam platform, go ahead, like, shout out Action Taimanin, nominate them for something, because overall I don't think it's a bad game. I don't think it's a bad gacha game. So, show it some love, I guess, is what I'm saying. With that being said, the video will end here. If you found the video helpful or informative, please like and subscribe, as it really does help out the channel. And from there, you guys have a great rest of your day. May you have good luck in the arena and in your gachas. Get hyped for the new Yuki supporter, and if you haven't gotten Emily yet, get hyped for her, because she is still cute as a button, and whether she is kind of OP in arena or not, I still love her to death. And with that, you guys, enjoy your day, and you take care.